All right. Okay. Well, good afternoon, everyone. Welcome everyone to the September Library Board of Trustees meeting. So I call this to order officially at 5:42 or 5:32. Review the library exits. Have the exit over there. We have that door open there. So if any issues come up, that'd be great. Hopefully we'll take care of it. Additions to the agenda. We have one addition. Dean, welcome.
Hi.
He's our social work intern, so welcome. I'll ask if there's anything on the public. The only public I see are board members, so I don't see any public, so there's no issues. Any agenda changes that anyone else has?
I want to do a photo at the end.
Photo at the end. Okay.
4, 5. We don't have. Oh, 5, 6, 7.
Yeah, we're good. So we are formed. All right.
Are we still good?
I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
technically I'm the public.
Oh, Penny's not on the board, that's right, we have 6.
Okay, so we have 6. So we're
6 out of 11.
yeah,
We're
6 and 11.
Anyway,
we're good.
yeah.
All right. Approval of the regular board meeting minutes from August 8th. They were submitted to everyone. Any questions or any comments from anyone?
One word,
Yes.
she wrote concurrent when she, no, commuter instead of computer, so it's not like.
Where is that at?
It's in page, this second page.
You guys need to
Under
see the
governance.
minutes. I think so that I want to offer.
All right.
Just to say that.
I will make a note of that, and then we will make that change. Any other comments or questions? All right, I'll approve the meeting minutes with that one edit. Say aye. Motion on that? Second?
I don't think you can move.
Okay,
Sorry, Ken.
that's fine. Who would like to make a motion?
I would like to make a motion.
All right, who would like the second?
I'll second.
All right. All in favor? Any opposed?
There we go.
Kevin's an aye. All right, minutes are approved. Thank you very much. So the first item on the agenda after that action was to review the MOU. So we have 2 guests here.
Can Dean actually speak?
You want to go first?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
then we'll have
thanks.
Dean go. Sure.
Just a minute.
Yeah,
please.
All right. Go ahead, Dean.
Hi, my name is Dean Pistato. I'm a senior social work student at UVM, and I'm the social work intern for the South Burlington Library, which I'm really excited about to be here. This was my first official week here. I've been doing a lot and coming up with lots of different jobs and projects, working with Jennifer. Mostly I've been at a little desk downstairs, just outside the entrance, just saying hi to people, trying to see if they need anything, any sort of references, consultation, support, anything like that. With that as well, I've also Jennifer has provided a mini project of providing a mini how-to employment guide for certain patrons who come in wondering about how to go through different sites like LinkedIn or Indeed. I'm also doing a trial run in a few weeks of doing support sessions for staff. So one-on-one sessions where we can bounce ideas off each other, and I can use my social work knowledge to try and hopefully any sort of situation that they might have had or currently have with patrons could at least be easier to deal with for the future. And I wrote down a couple different things. Last thing, also starting to develop some sort of community day we're going to do, no date or anything, especially with the refugee population. Outside of this, I also work as a medical caseworker for a refugee resettlement agency here. So I try to connect those 2 communities together. Yeah, I put on a lot of hats. I'm also a tour guide for UVM, among other things. Could go on and on, but yeah, just excited to be here. So thank you all.
Thank you for your engagement and participation. Any questions for Dean?
I have a question about the refugee. Do you anticipate any way that we can support you for those projects?
Good to know. Nothing at the moment. I think it just needs to be, so the organization is called USCRI, so it needs to kind of go through them first in terms of what is acceptable and would work best in terms of what activities could happen for refugees, what would be best at this kind of day. And then once that kind of gets more or less approved, then I'll kind of combine heads with Jennifer, seeing what can work, what cannot, all that. But for now, I think I'm good, but maybe once it gets to Jennifer, I might need some help and some consulting just to confirm things.
And just know we are a resource available to help. Obviously, you can work through Jennifer or any of the board members, but please reach out to us if we can help in any way with what you're doing. Because obviously we support what you're doing. And I want to encourage it.
Thank you.
Enjoy your first, congratulations on your first week. And we'll see you around, and thanks for helping out.
Might not be a terrible thing to introduce the city manager to Dean, well.
Absolutely.
Jesse,
I wasn't sure that had happened.
No.
I serve as a city manager, so work a lot with Jennifer. If there's, and Jared is one of our deputy city attorneys. If there's anything we can do for you, let me know. And I worked really closely with USCRI through COVID when I was managing the ski. So if I can help too, let me know.
Will do. Will definitely do.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yep.
All right, you're free.
You are busy. All right, so.
Have a good night.
Thank you. Nice to meet you.
So next agenda item is the review of the Library South Burlington City Memorandum of Understanding. So we've sent copies of that to everyone. I don't know if everyone has a copy of it or not. I think maybe Jared, if you want to quickly just kind of give a high level of anything from the city's perspective on this memorandum of understanding and the intent, or
Yeah.
Jesse?
I'll let Jesse
Yeah.
start with it.
Okay.
If I can do a quick, not, I'll leave the legal stuff to Jared for sure. So this, Stacy and I have been talking about this for, I don't know, probably 6 months at this point. Realizing that the last MOU was agreed to in 2013, so it's been over a decade. We've made some significant changes since that time, primarily moving into this building, as well as building some other staff teams within the city, like a facilities department and a stronger IT department and whatnot. So we thought it was a good opportunity to re-look at this, to open it, to see what changes we as a city might like to make, and what, of course, Stacy and you all want to make. So it's been a really lovely collaborative conversation with Stacy, and I'm really thankful that I think that there may have been some history where that was different, and we seem to be in a really different place of wanting to codify our shared agreement of how things function. And then, of course, the third component of that is the staff unionizing. So that does change a little bit some of the legal requirements we are required to follow. So that's the table setting. Really appreciate the partnership through Stacy to date, and really we're here for a conversation, but I'll let Jared go through the legal part.
Yes, so good afternoon, evening, everyone. Again, Jared Pellerin, Deputy City Attorney. And Jesse came to me based on our conversations with Stacy and saying, hey, we should probably start looking at this MOU in particular because of the legislation that came also out of the state legislature this session that, just revamped a little bit of the state statute. And I think South Burlington has a unique library system, as you guys are all aware. Like smaller towns and villages throughout Vermont don't have their library that's so embedded per se in the city hall and within city organization. And so the statute, it gives guidance, but I think our situation here is unique, and that's what we were trying to aim at, capturing the harmony and maintaining the authorities that are the Board of Trustees and the authorities that fall within city administration and overseeing city employees. So that's really where we're at with this. I don't know if we want to go through it line by line or how people have reviewed it. But I really don't personally feel that we drastically changed this in any way. We brought just some of it up to speed and tried to also capture, when it comes down to budgeting and finance, making sure that we were just articulating a little bit more of how we operate today, removing, accounts like the capital campaign account that was used to build this beautiful building is no longer so necessary, as we have the foundation and then the gift account. So we're moving language around that. And just, making sure that what's written in here is up to speed with what has evolved in the past decade or so.
Yeah, I think key thing maybe is just walk through each of the key sections and just see if there's any questions that you want. So from the library director and personnel, this governs a lot of the relationships between the city and the library board regarding staffing and personnel. I don't think there are many significant modifications to that. It's to make sure we're in line with standards and with the regulations and the relationship we have. Any questions on that section? Okay. Second is the financial management budgetary process. That was really cleaning up, as Jen mentioned, the capital fund and the gift account. The only thing I was mentioning is the gift account, all the accounts payable and everything are processed through the city as part of the function. I think it's covered enough that that's understood, because one thing we want to do is process everything using your payable system. So if we have anything, we didn't want to do that separate. I'm not sure we need to call that out. I mean, I think it feels like it's there or not.
I had a suggestion.
Ann did.
I did, I mean, I just had a suggestion because I don't know, I was trying to understand what it all meant, so that some of my questions are from ignorance, I think here, but the sentence that says the trustees will oversee the library gift account held by the city, which the city serves as custodian. I didn't understand what it meant to oversee and what custodian, what that meant, even though everybody probably actually knows what that meant.
So I guess
We
maybe.
know how
So
it
my
works, but we don't
suggestion-
necessarily know what those
I had a
terms.
suggestion, but I'll just read it. The library board of trustees will authorize expenditures from the library gift account in consultation with the library director, and the city will maintain and process payments from the gift account. But I don't know if that's too specific.
So I guess as a
We can
function,
leave it
the
as
gift
it is.
account is when money comes into either through outside sources
Right.
to the library
Yeah.
for Jennifer to spend.
Right.
We want that process to, money comes in, Jennifer sees the amount she has,
Yeah.
she purchases it in line with what the money is donated
Right.
for. Once she purchases it, she approves it and moves into the payable system. I don't know how much detail that process needs to be explicitly stated or not, but that's just an understanding to do that, so we don't have to, it's just an easy pass through for
And
funds coming.
procedurally, many years ago, the board asked me to run past them any purchases over $1,000 or more. So as far as direct oversight, that it's only those are the ones that I would bring to the board ahead of time.
And they still go through our warrant process.
Mhm.
So
But this is
Can-
fine.
okay.
I'm not gonna.
So I mean, that's the key
I was just trying to figure out, what does it mean to oversee?
Yeah, I think that's one of the key
What's
components of this
extra?
finance section is that
It's all-
that's covered in there, and then also that section now G is basically the fundraising and donations earmarked for the library will supplement city funding rather than supplanting it. And I think that's just a key understanding that we have as well, is that the motive of the foundation and then Friends of the Library and other people who want to give is to supplement
Right.
the libraries, what they can do.
I could just add one sentence. I think that oversee is important in that from we have many funds in the city that we
Yeah.
maintain, and it puts emphasis, yes, the council has to approve it to ensure it goes through the fiduciary oversight,
Right.
but it puts emphasis on the fact that those expenditures are meant to be expenditures that you all bless, whether through
Are aware,
delegation to
right,
Jennifer or
right.
review otherwise.
Inform them.
I.e., I can't go into it and say, ooh, that's a great fund for this over here. It's really meant to be
Right.
for that purpose.
Right.
Nor can I buy that. Just saying.
And I think the other piece of the oversight too is that through Jennifer, whoever's in Jennifer's seat, and the finance director should be reporting back to you about finances of the library, and that could be, something that's earmarked for the trustees so that you have oversight, you can see what's in that bank account, and therefore make decisions around it.
Any questions on the call about that?
I have a question about the sentence, sorry,
Which one?
and you opened it up.
I know.
Oh, okay, the account held by the city of which the city serves as custodian, is that not redundant? Also, I mean, technically it
Held
means
by
that
and
of which
custodian,
the
right.
city serves as custodian is modifying city, means the city is custodian of the city. So I just was wondering whether one of those could not be in the sentence.
Yeah, I mean, it could just say the library board trustees will oversee the library gift account of which the city serves as custodian, and just.
Sure, that sounds
That's
good.
fine.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm sorry I like this.
No,
Yeah.
that's your,
Words are important.
You gotta say that in this,
Yeah.
this is a legal document, it does matter.
Okay.
This is why we have it.
Right. So we'll make that a modification. Any question on the financial section? Setting library policy, this is significant amount of what the role of the library board of trustees is, what we shall and will do. So it's very much driven by the library board of trustees, since we are the stewards of the policy.
Thank you.
So any questions on that? I think it clearly defines what our role is and is in line with any of the statutes out there. Any questions on that? Fourth one, libraries, facilities, and capital planning. So this is city management partnership with the library that we're responsible for daily maintenance of the library facilities. Is that the final wording we agreed on, library facilities?
So I think just explain what that meant in the comments.
Okay.
So that she.
Okay, we're good there.
And this is a brand new section. This does not currently.
So any other comments you want to add on that? Okay, I think it's pretty clear as to what the role of that is. Promoting library use. Again, most of this is library board of trustees, the first 4 bullets. The last one, the city management, and we'll partner with the library board chiefs and the library director as needed for promotional activities and materials. So this is where we jointly help promote activities that are out there in the city. We'll help with that as well as city management. Okay. Any questions on that? Cooperative agreement with the city shall be consistent with Vermont state statutes. So this is making sure that we're aligned with those statutes. I think that's very much in line with what we've had in the past. City shall continue to provide financial support is probably one of them. We don't need to recognize that the city is clear there on that. So our job is not that we don't need to document that we're recognizing that. And the last 2 are more probably the legalese and just the agreement on what the memorandum is under, what it's in effect for, and how it can be templated. Any questions on anything on this? Anyone on the call? Okay. So we have the 1 modification held by the city and the comments in there. So do we need to clarify any of the words on the comments? Do we need to get one final clear, crisp document, or do we think?
Yeah,
this is
I didn't
sufficient?
think that tonight that you guys were
We're
gonna
not
be voting.
We're not voting
approve it.
tonight, so I
No,
just want to
so-
see if we need another version.
Yeah, I mean, what between now and then, what I could do is clean this up and make sure that there's no, no inline comments, no red line, etc. And then resend that to Stacy to circulate to all of you. And in the meantime, if there is anything between now and then that you start to percolate on and think about and want to talk about, reconsider, etc., like, we're here to work with you all the time.
Okay.
Can I call out one more thing that Stacy added that I really support, but is a difference is number 7, the call for review every 5 years, just putting us on a regular rotation of things. So I
That's
just want to call out
Yeah.
that was different.
Okay, so we'll take the action then for you to put a clean copy back to Stacy, and then we'll distribute amongst the rest of the board members, and then we'll put that on the agenda for next month. Okay.
Just as I do some council agenda planning, because ultimately my hope is together we will go to the council and ask for their review. When do you anticipate supporting this? So I can figure out when it might go to council as we think about primarily our FY26 budget planning.
Second week of October.
Yeah, our next meeting is scheduled for the 2nd week of October.
And do you anticipate
October 10th.
voting that night, or would you?
We would vote that.
Yeah,
They would vote that.
Yeah, there's,
They would.
assuming.
I'm telling ya.
November going to the council is great,
Okay,
and I can work with Stacy to see on what date works best for her.
Penny, you have your hand up?
Yes, I just wanted to make note that, I'm attending it as a public, and copies of that MOU document are not provided for the public. So like, if I did have anything to say, I wouldn't be, I can't see it. It wasn't attached to the agenda. So just FYI for future things, those materials you may want to have attached or somewhere in a file.
Thank you, Penny.
That's a good point.
Good point, thank you. Okay. All right, Jesse, anything else?
Thank you.
Jen?
Nope.
All right.
Appreciate the
Thank you.
partnership. Yeah.
Nice to meet you all.
On the stay or anybody else? Go
Stay for another night meeting.
on. I'm sure you have plenty of them.
We've had 5 council meetings in
Yes.
2 weeks, so. Yeah.
Don't worry, we're recording it anyway.
Okay.
Thank
Enjoy
you
your
all.
evening.
Thank you.
Thank you for the partnership.
Yep. All right, next is the Friends of the Library. Sue is not available, but she did send a report. So her summary is the bookshop had in July $392.32 of sales, in August $548.40. The fall book sale is October 31st. Thursday is the pre-sale for members only, and then November 1st, 2 to 5, and Saturday 10 to 2, open to all. So please mark your calendars. Obviously, we'll be in the meeting minutes. And Friends of the Concert Series, the March concert has been rescheduled to November 2nd at noon. So it'll be here when we're having the sale. So there'll be a concert here as well.
And it sounds fabulous.
Yes.
Sounds like it's a
Jazz duo.
jazzy, yeah.
So, and you have the, you copy?
I have it.
You have it? Okay. All right. Next, report outs. Chair's report. One thing Stacy wanted to have was a vote on our slate of officers. So we need to take the action to vote on those. So as we have in shape, Stacy will still be the chair. I would be the vice chair and treasurer. Secretary would be Don. I think that's the slate. Any other nominations or anyone wants to change those slate of it? Okay. If not, I need a motion to put those up for approval. All right, anyone second that motion? Second. All those in favor say aye. Any opposed? No. Okay, motion is passed, so the slate of electors, officers has been approved. I don't have anything else from Stacy other than, obviously, when we get this copy edited from the lawyer, if you could review it so we can put that on the October meeting. Committee reports. So we can start on double governance and nomination. Any updates?
So we are still working on our reconsideration of program policy. So that's on our agenda for next meeting. We discussed it and obviously, I'm sorry, we turned like that. So we had our reconsideration of program meetings and we're working on that policy. We've got a good rough draft. Jennifer is shopping it out to the staff to get their thoughts on it and discuss it again in the next meeting. And we approved computer use policy here last month, so we're good. And we're also going to continue discussion of a policy to govern the use of the lobby. And then there are a couple other policies that we're gonna get started on revising or reviewing, I should say.
Are we doing the recording studio
Yeah,
at the next meeting?
yeah, I don't think it's on
I
the
sent that to
agenda. I
you.
think it is, but we can add it.
Yeah.
So I'll send that.
Are there any other areas we need to develop any policies for the lobby or is it me?
I think
Okay,
the
touch
lobby area again, Jennifer just sent that out. That's a little, I'm interested to see how that goes, because it's officially the city space, but they somehow I feel like everybody feels the library is moderated in some way. So so that'll be, so I'll be interested to see how we manage that.
Right.
So that'll be fun.
Right.
And I don't know that there are any new policies. I think we're going through and reviewing them once a week. Have in the pipeline.
Rebecca, you can say hello to everyone if you like. All right,
So that's
thank
better.
you.
Thank you.
Communication?
We have been focused on library card setup month, which is September. Yesterday was our first tabling at Catamount Run Apartments. We did 2 different buildings and we had talked with 36 people.
Wow.
And handed out flyers where they filled in their names and brought it to the library, and they got a coupon for free creamy at Al's and are entered into a raffle to win a welcome to South Burlington gift basket, for which Rebecca did some fun shopping. And Stacy promised to make it look pretty when she gets back.
Okay.
And we'll be doing another one next week, next Wednesday, at two of the other properties that are mainly mid-center. So we met tons of really excited grad students yesterday who were already enjoying the libraries right here.
How was the feedback from them? Were they sending anything, any themes or anything? Or
I mean, they were just really happy with the libraries right here.
Okay.
Yeah, they were very enthusiastic, nice.
Good.
Yeah.
And a bunch of them came in right away and got library
They
cards.
did,
They
yeah.
showed us, they showed
Yeah.
us.
And some of them already had library cards and that first thing,
That's
so
awesome.
it was great.
Appreciate y'all doing that.
And the only other thing is that banned book week is coming up soon, so I grabbed a bunch of banned books and we're gonna do a photo at the end. I was gonna do everybody together on those steps over there, reading the banned book. And then we're gonna do something with the picture, but I haven't decided what yet, but the main thing is we're all here, so we're gonna raise books.
Instagram, here we come.
Yes.
Yeah.
Could I ask about, how did it work, with rec?
Oh, yeah, sorry, yes, Rex sent representative to hand out some of their stuff. Kate? Caitlin? Caitlin? Just Kate? Oh,
Unless it was Olivia.
you know, she said her name was Caitlin.
Oh, interesting, she's okay.
Anyway, she
Sorry.
was super lovely.
I've only met her as Kate, so there you go.
She was I felt a real asset. She was great. She
I'm glad.
She's
She's
like,
like, here we are.
had real penny energy.
Yes,
Yes.
she's a super.
Yeah, she was great. So I felt like she was, it was great working with her, and they were really excited that we reached out
Good.
and want to do more stuff with us. So I think this is one of our future. Thanks.
All right. Good. All right, finance committee, guess what? It's budget time.
Yay.
So we'll be beginning the process of coming up with the fiscal year 26 budget. As soon as we thought it was done, it comes right back around.
Yes.
So Jennifer will be getting a worksheet from the city, and then we will begin the process. I don't know of anything major that we're probably looking at.
Well,
What do you?
for
what do you
FY
say?
26, I think the students pushed the envelope a little bit for me about extending our hours. Oh, yeah, they
They sure did
actually,
mention that, yeah.
they, yes.
That's-
What did they say?
Same on Sundays.
Ah,
They're like, you know,
Yeah.
my library in my hometown, you know, like,
Yeah, they want Sundays.
so that's,
That's
None of the
probably,
people I talked to
And we've
talked
had
about
that for-
labor, they mainly talk about Sundays.
Yeah.
and that's something probably as a board, we're gonna have to
That-
talk about, understand the financial implications of that, and then also how we want to
Yeah.
approach it. Yeah. But from a staffing perspective, I think we weren't talking much change on staffing or maybe a modification from
well,
independent of the hours.
we've moved from 4 people on the weekends, on Saturdays, to a minimum of 5, well, 4 if we're desperate. 5 is the
Good target.
preferred, and 6 is often what we need, especially this last summer, man. So we'd have to really look at it to see, and, there's some, yes.
Mhm.
We're being recorded.
All right. So that's the next thing will happen, so I'll get the finance committee together, Jennifer, have her first introductory look at what the spreadsheet and anything from the city direction, from the city.
What does the city give you? Did they give you a basic, this is what it looked like for 2020?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a template of where we were in the previous years, where you're consistent, where you're at.
City council had their first budget, as I understand it from the calendar. City council and Jesse, I don't know who all else, had their initial budget discussion today.
Oh, okay.
So so next week, I imagine that Jesse might be coming to the leadership meeting and saying, generally, council is saying 1%, or that kind of thing,
Okay.
whatever it might be. And then we have to go, we'll create a budget. And then somewhere in there, the new system with Jesse is that I go to the department head meetings, and all our budgets are presented to each other, and we have to advocate for sometimes we have to advocate for
Right,
why
right,
we need
right.
this or that
Right.
thing. So if, I would hope that we could figure something out so that we don't have to ask for more staffing, because we did get a half-time position this year, which was not expected and was, everybody wants staff and we got another half person. But, so we do that. So they say, we need another fire truck. It's absolutely vital that we have another fire truck, or we need to, we can't have cracks in the sidewalks and have it be safe for our residents and, that kind of thing.
Yeah, I think we have to recognize for the last 3-4 years, we've pretty much whatever we've asked, we've gotten.
Right.
And it's great and it's thriving, but we don't want to lose that momentum, but we also don't want to keep asking for that. So we're gonna have to figure out that balance.
Yeah.
So that'll be the biggest thing. Yeah.
How does the staffing utilization affect the budget?
Which I have the staff.
Staff unionization.
Oh, affect the budget. So this year, the city is in a hole, but, a substantial hole because of the staffing, for the increases. And the city agreed to take that on, and, that is not, it did not come out of our budget. As it happens, this fall starts the next round of negotiations for the entire union. Last year was just the library. So the entire union will be negotiating this fall, and so FY '26 will have to have increases from all 3 unions. I think they all, I'm not positive, but there are 3 unions, and I don't know if they all are coming up with their desires for the same fiscal year, or whether it's over several years, but there will be, it will make a
Those
difference.
agreements tend to be multi-year agreements.
They are, but whether
So-
whether we do them, or whether they're staggered or whether they all come in 1 year, I don't know.
Okay.
I should know, but I don't. So it's gonna have an impact, as of course is health insurance, which already they're expecting to be 15% more for FY '26. Which is the year that
I don't know if anybody saw that, topic, but they had a big chunk of change at the end of the year that they were supposed to have.
UVM.
Medicine, yeah.
Well, there were some organizations or governments had surpluses because of how their money was invested in FY, and there was such a high interest rate. I know that was an issue that allowed us to.
I think there's a lot of funding moving because ARPA money is going away. So pandemic funding is unwinding, investment money may have gone up more than anticipated, healthcare is going up,
So,
unionization. So a lot of the things in our budget are kind of fixed outside of the.
most of the budget is
Right,
fixed.
so it's really the line items of the spend on circulation, a lot of those things that we'll have the most control over.
So it's really staffing.
Staffing is the dominant cost driver of it, but the only thing we'll have to discuss is if we want to open up to more hours, we'll have to present that to the city. Because we broached that in front of the city council before, and they've been kind of, because they know it could be an additional cost to do that.
But it was also the union agreement, it isn't in the union agreement, but it's like an addendum that we will not do it this fiscal year. Okay. For some reason, the union strongly about us not doing it this fiscal year.
And that could be an issue in future negotiations. too.
Yeah.
Now that we've done that, that's something.
Not doing what this year?
Expanding
Opening on
hours.
Sunday. So we talked about it, we hadn't planned for it financially, it was an easy thing to say okay to. But
But once,
what's the root of that and what's it?
the other thing you have to watch is once it's in a document, a collective bargaining agreement, it's something you have to talk to every collective bargaining agreement, whether they take it out. Or leave it
Yeah, but it's
in.
not in the agreement,
It's in the addendum.
it's in an addendum for that very reason, I think,
Okay, so it dies with the end of the
But
contract.
it
has to be
means that
reimbursed.
there's something there.
So they'll bring it up most likely again to see if it needs to be there. So it's something we'll have to watch. Okay,
Yeah, interesting.
all right. That's all I have from the finance committee, but we'll get together and go from there.
There you go.
All right, any other director's report?
So I didn't get you that director's report, kept thinking about it, and then.
We like it live, we like the live.
Live. Verbal.
Yes.
Yeah.
Actually, we're just busy. Sue's doing a terrific job but she's still doing 2 jobs. So that kind of hampers the full leadership team just because she's got a lot going on. We're glad to have Kelly back. She was gone for 6 weeks, so yay, that's happening. She was supposed to get me the summer reading statistics to share with you today. He did not, so I didn't have those either. The one thing that, there are 2 flyers here. One is for an author speaking and one is for a reading class that you have to register for. So, and that's ties into the exhibit downstairs. So I'm really happy about that collaboration. They tried to do it last year for the Haitian artist, but it was like, oh, we're doing this in 2 weeks. Do you think you could do a program? And we said no, but we wish we could. And so this time they planned further ahead and we're doing this workshop, so that's great. But I think that really the most notable thing that's happening is really trying to collaborate more with other departments. And that, so we had what I thought was a really good working meeting with Kate, who might also go by Caitlin, who, she came in and said, I want to have big events for these 2 months. And so we said, okay, what's that gonna look like? What's our part? What's your part? And also we said to her, so we don't object to that in principle, but in the evolution of the library, we've really been working towards not focusing on events in those specific months, but instead trying to integrate diverse programs throughout the year. And, there are pros and cons to both. And she said, yeah, I just learned about that in library school. Yeah, great. It's good. So, so I think we learned a lot, like that she's thinking big, like I want to have 3 events in one day, because then they'll stay and we'll do it at the mall or whatever. And that I spoke for us and said, I'm not into the big events, but I am interested in a breadth of events. And if we can participate in breadth, then, that'd be great. So the months that she wants to do are Black History and Black History, Black Futures, and Women's History. And we happen to already have a program, and well, one of them is pending and one is set that could tie in. So I'm glad we have to get back to her and just see kind of what does that mean for her, because is she going to go out and find her own speakers because we're not, what's that gonna look like? My hope is that instead it's more of we all agree that, we want to cross publicize if we're gonna do Black History Month, then let's cross publicize about it and let's talk to each other so that we are not scheduling things at the same time. But I'm not, I don't know exactly where we're going from there, but I also have a meeting with Adam, who's the head of the department, about community dinners. They've started doing community dinners again.
Oh, yeah.
Last month, I totally missed it.
I was curious how that went,
Well,
or how well attended it actually was.
I think, I don't know numbers, but I went to talk to him once I heard about it to say, maybe there's something that we could do together, and he was interested because it wasn't as successful as they hoped. And he knew that it had been done at the school before, and they did this one at the school. They're gonna move it here instead to the senior center. But it sounded like he didn't know, or maybe, I'm not sure exactly, but that there was also a topic often. And there was somebody at those community dinners that was kind of facilitating the discussion at your table about topics. Because I went to 2 of them and there were topics for sure, and I know it because it was the first place that I ever heard about people who were non-binary. I But so anyway, so I'm meeting with him to talk about that, and we are. Well, I don't know what he's going to say because they plan further out than we do, but I was hoping that we could tie it in with the next ELL family event. That if we could have a community dinner and then the families come to the library or vice versa. In the past with the ELL dinners, instead they had like something you could carry home. It was pasta or samosas or something. And so it seemed like it'd be a perfect. Similarly, the imagined event with the USCRI is, I said, maybe something like a reception, we can invite them, they did, I don't know, but that might be the kind of thing that we could build the community dinner and then have a tour of the library, then it can help us to be community with each other. One of the things that Adam said was that they put out too many tables. Right, so when you're thinking about this, right, so people sat by themselves, which completely goes against the community dinner thing. But one of the things that's clear about the city priorities is, so the library specifically isn't mentioned very often, right? I think we're in there maybe twice, and both of them are kind of tied into being welcoming of diverse cultures and people who are from different backgrounds, And rec and library are jointly tied to those. So it's time for us to work together on some of this. So that's really kind of the most interesting thing that's been happening.
Anything on the IT? Did we talk about the last?
Oh, gosh, was that just the last time? Yeah, sorry. So yeah, thank you for asking. The story about that is that Nick, the IT person, was told to find money in the capital, in the CIP, because it counts as building technology. And I also said to him, and he's a little nervous about it because that's the money that he uses to replace computers as he needs to in the whole city. So what I said to him was, if you get to a place where you're freaking out, we have this small amount of money and we could just buy those for you, buy some computers for you if we needed to do that. So that's where we left that.
Okay. Yeah, it's something as we've talked financials for next year.
Yeah.
See how we want to factor that into it.
Yeah, well, and it will be this year, so
Right.
yes, but we need to change the budget for next year for sure.
Correct. Okay.
Yeah.
Anything else?
No, I'm just so grateful that the communications folks are going out and doing outreach. That's really terrific. Yeah.
They were really listening. I was just thinking about that intern.
Yes.
Did you mention
He was here.
He was here before.
You just missed him, I'm sorry.
it? Well, he started.
Yeah.
Mhm.
He's lovely.
He's very nice.
Oh, yes. I will tell you. So what was fun, the other thing is, thank you so much for people who came to Pride. That was great. We had a fun group and we were able to, Dean was just standing on the
Yeah.
street corner waving.
Yeah.
And I said,
come
on!
That makes sense.
So that was a great way to meet a few trustees
Yeah.
and
It's like, this is
staff.
my first Pride parade. I was like,
Oh, really? I didn't hear that.
yeah. Same with Donna's.
Yeah, I heard that.
Did you see that we were on TV?
No.
We were on WCX, but unfortunately, the part
I
where.
feel like it's mostly you.
No, it's not mostly. They missed the. So we're in it.
Oh,
Okay,
no matter, that's really a shame.
So, but we were on.
Yeah, you'll just stick it.
Wow, that's how you feel.
I'll send you that. I also did that.
Okay, that sounds good. It just shows that we were really there.
My neighbor's on this, and he's like this.
Hi there,
I'm
guys.
telling you, eagle eye.
Sorry, I forget to face you. Anyway, I'm really fine. We have a job, we're getting some applicants.
Okay.
We hope that we're gonna get just the right wonderful applicant, and then we'll go into the next hiring thing, but we're not there yet.
sorry if you've already repeated this, but so you're hiring circulation and
Specialist.
specialists and what's the other position?
Well, so one of our subs resigned, so we'll be doing that one. And then the 19-hour position that we got for this year has not been spent yet this year because I'm really trying to be strategic with how to use those hours. And we have some ideas, but then do we wanna, can we combine it with another position and then make like a communication specialist? Wouldn't that be great? But then, do we, one of our goals was this year was to make the teen specialist full-time. Well, we didn't do that, but so then do we want this person to be in adult services so that then teen specialists can actually have a presence in the loft more often? And so many possibilities, and we wanna do it the best way we can, so. And then, of course, I'll tell all these people when I hire them that we will be opening on Sundays at some time in the future, as I have been doing for the last 5 years, and people still get upset.
Yeah.
So it doesn't mean everybody has to work Sunday, right? It probably means everybody has to work Saturday or Sunday. And so if you have religious things or other commitments.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Providing a range of things.
that's right, yeah, every Saturday, that's what you got, you're the Sunday group.
Do you anticipate, because I remember working Saturdays in the mall, and it was just like, the whole time, do you anticipate it would be the same on Sundays, or it would be the same, somewhere? Like constant,
I don't know.
here are my 200 books, please discharge them all and make sure they're all off my account.
It's
The
possible.
other person.
It's possible. I think that that anyone who's doing homework, we have a higher chance of seeing them.
Yeah.
Whether that's college, we might see more high school. I don't know if, there was an anti-homework groove in South Burlington a few years ago, and I'm not sure where that stands right now, but I don't know that it ever hit the high school
I never
students.
had high school, so
And I don't think we would be expecting to do any programming, which we do sometimes do on Saturdays.
right.
So, I don't know.
It would be shorter hours, like maybe 5 or something.
Saturday is 9 to 3. Question would be.
We said 10 to 2, I think was our,
10 to 2.
when we were discussing it as a
As a
general concept,
possibility.
it was 10 to 2. So it was a midday,
Yeah.
just a small window to be accessible, but
Yeah, it is interesting, like having all those grad students over there.
Yeah,
Like,
they were
you do 2 to 2.
I know, they
That'd be good.
and they would probably lean more towards.
Well, and the other thing is that from a scheduling perspective, which, that's my problem. But, if we have people who only work on, who are scheduled every Saturday or every Sunday, okay, things are easier. But right now, we have this rotating thing, so everybody has to work Saturday. Some people work every Saturday, but generally people rotate every 4 weeks. And it's super helpful if you're rotating between a day where you work 8 hours and a day where you work 8 hours.
Yeah.
So the full-time staff on Saturdays have some planning time between 3 and 4:30. We work 8 to 4:30 on Saturdays, so they have planning time. But if we get any reduced hours, I don't, that feels like it's not a good.
And then there's a number of people you need here and
Yeah.
figure all that out, so
That's
it's
great.
not an
Good
easy.
luck.
Yeah, thanks,
Yeah.
appreciate it, and I'll be coming to you with fistfuls of hair.
Right.
That'll be available in the library.
Yeah.
Anything else from the
No,
director?
no,
All right.
thank you.
Any other business in the room?
I think Penny might have.
Yes, so Penny, now,
I-
any business, anything else you'd like?
Can you hear me? Well,
Yeah.
I just wanted to, I wanted to invite any of the trustees who aren't already on the foundation board to let you know we're having a foundation meeting on September 25th. And any of you that want to are welcome to come. We're only kind of meeting as a board, probably quarterly or maybe a little more often. And the other thing is that Kevin, being the head of fundraising, We are starting to work on the annual appeal, and we probably will reach out to you as trustees to, maybe help us with that a little bit. And I think that is it. And don't forget, next Thursday, you could be at the library having fun.
Volunteer day,
Mhm.
volunteer night.
Yes. Volunteer night. It's what? Yes, we're celebrating Jennifer's 10-year anniversary, whether she likes it or not.
Penny, your last comment, can you repeat your last comment?
I said we're celebrating Jennifer's 10 years with the library, whether she likes it or not.
Yeah. It's great. Is that your
That's all.
actual anniversary? No, my anniversary was August 11th. Okay. Well, that's not too far.
We're close. Well, we're close.
My
yeah,
longest
so.
job ever.
Oh, yay.
Honored to have you for those many years.
Yeah.
All right,
Thank you.
next meeting is Thursday, October 10th at 5:30. Any issues with anyone with that date? Okay,
No, there's no school that day.
I don't know if that matters.
Oh, it is Indigenous Peoples' Day. We might not be open. Haha.
Well,
Is that right? Is it Indigenous
No,
Peoples' Day?
it's
No, it's
this
the
new,
Monday.
they have now Thursday and Friday, well, Friday is Yom Kippur, but Thursday they also have off.
so just,
They have school, they always, they have school on
People's Day
Monday.
is on Monday.
Okay.
I'm just mentioning
Gotcha.
that,
No,
that was
that's
a
good.
new, that was a
Okay.
change to the school calendar
Okay.
that I've never seen before.
Yeah, and I think Indigenous Peoples' Day, we're not. Columbus,
Is that 14th? This is the 14th.
Yeah.
oh, it's the 14th this year. I
Monday,
see, I
Friday.
see, yeah. Okay.
Okay. If not, that'll be the next meeting. If there is no other business, the chair adjourns the meeting.
Waving, are you
waving.
waving to talk?
Are you
or
saying
say
waving
goodbye?
Bye. No, I'm saying waving goodbye. Goodbye.
See ya.
Bye.
See you later.
Hi, Penny.
Bye, Kevin.
Stop recording.
Send me the picture.
Oh,
Which
yeah.
time,
I'm still gonna put it in.
We should have stood in front of the screen and have.
Oh.
I should have come to